Hello everyone, it's Shannon here for Honeybee Stamps. In today's video, I'm going to try to do something that I don't normally do. Typically, I really overcomplicate things, but when you're working with such a gorgeous die set as this lovely layer of strawberries, it just comes together so beautifully. So my goal here is to create this clean and simple card that's very fun and easy to create. We're actually going to start with the lovely layers strawberries die set. I'm going to start with the large die here for all the leaves, and I'm going to just simply die cut it out of a green cardstock. I'm not going to do any ink blending today, just going to layer up these die cuts with colored cardstock, and I think we're still going to create this beautiful strawberry arrangement. Now I'm grabbing all the kind of secondary green elements, which is the tops for the strawberries, the base for the strawberries, as well as the base for the flowers. So I've grabbed all my dies, ran them through, and I die cut them out of this really kind of lime green cardstock. And I'll just take all my components and place it there on my work surface. Now we're going to do the strawberries themselves. I chose not to do quite a bright red, kind of more of a corally red, just for some more interest, something a little bit different. And I die cut my 4 strawberries out of that coral cardstock. Now we're going to move on to the flowers. The flowers we're going to die cut out of some white cardstock. I love how Honeybee includes multiple dies of certain images, just ones that you know you're going to repeat, like some of these flowers. So I don't have to die cut I can die cut my flowers all in one go. I don't have to kind of die cut it once, then reposition the die and die cut it again. And here's another great example, the center of the flowers. There's 4 dies that are the same that allow you to cut out multiple flower centers all in one go. So it just makes it a little bit easier. And I just think that's so clever of Honeybee to think about that. So I went ahead and die cut 3 of my flower centers out of some yellow cardstock. And now I'm ready to put all of my layers together for the strawberries. I'm going to start with the toppers for the strawberries. Again, I die cut them out of that lime green cardstock for a little bit more contrast. If I were to die cut everything out of the one green, it would be kind of flat. So just by simply, using a slightly different shade of green really does add to these. And again, I'm not going to do any ink blending, any copic coloring. I'm going to keep these just nice and flat, the color of the colored cardstock, and I think they still will turn out and have this really beautiful, almost like, I guess, kind of like a paper pieced look. Now I just went ahead and adhered the strawberries to their base. Now I'm adhering the flower centers to the flowers. Then I'll adhere the flowers to the base. I have one freestanding flower that I just glued down there just to kind of fill out my strawberry arrangement a little bit more. And that actually completes my layers for the strawberry. Now we're going to move on to this Terracotta Planters die set, and I'm going to die cut the first layer to this pot out of some basically like a terracotta colored cardstock. Then for the base or the back of the planter, I'm going to just die cut out of white cardstock, just kind of simplifying the palette a little bit. I didn't want to do terracotta and terracotta cut just because I thought it made it too dark and I didn't get enough contrast with the back. And now we're going to move on to creating our background. I have an A2 top folding Kraft card base, and I'm going to ink blend the corners with walnut stain distress ink. You could definitely use oxide if you have that. This is just kind of a tone-on-tone look, very clean and simple, but it's going to draw your eye into our focal point. It's just a nice way to kind of scale down your canvas a little bit. Now I've pressed the ink pad onto some acetate, spritzed it with some water, mixed the water and the ink together so I have this watered down ink, then loaded up my brush with that watered down ink, and now I'm just tapping on my finger over those corners to add a little bit of interest, a little bit of splatter there in the corners. Again, just another really subtle detail. Still keeping this card pretty clean and simple, but it'll really add a lot. And I do have a little eraser in the center of my card just to kind of keep the card closed. Then I grabbed a towel, placed it on top to kind of pick up any of the excess water, just because I was a little impatient to wait for it to dry. Now I'm going to create my arrangement here. I have the top of my terracotta planter, and I'm feeding in through the lip of it my leaves, my strawberry and flowers, and then I have my 2 loose elements, one of strawberry, one of flower. I'm going to start to arrange those and place them in, and these little additional elements just really help to balance out and fill out our strawberry arrangement. Once I get all of my strawberry die cuts in place, I will then grab a piece of press and seal, place it right on top of that arrangement to pick up everything, even the back of the planter if I can. And then I'm going to leave this over my card front so I can help get the position of my sentiment. This sentiment is from the Best of Everything stamp set. I love the way these sentiments look, and I felt like this one just really fit nicely with the scale of our arrangement. I'm going to stamp this in intense black ink, and after I stamp my sentiment, we are basically ready to complete this card. I'm going to grab my strawberry arrangement here and flip it over. The first thing I'm going to do is adhere the back of the pot to the front with one layer of foam adhesive. So I'm just going to add some foam strips to the back of the terracotta front and then remove the backing and then place my white back on it. Now for the rest of the strawberry arrangement, I want to double up my foam adhesive. This is going to make it pop even more away from the planter, and I just like this really dimensional look. So I just fold the foam adhesive back on itself to make a really easy way to double up this this foam adhesive, and I'm going to continue to place these doubled up strips around the back or on the back of all of my flowers or my leaves and strawberries and flowers. Then I'm going to center this arrangement over my card front. Once I get it in place, I'll then press it down and then carefully remove the press and seal. Now I forgot to add some liquid adhesive to the back of the pot, so it's actually loose right now. So I just added some liquid adhesive really quick and then repositioned it and then stuck it down. And now we're ready. Now my card is actually complete. So I'll hold it to the camera so you can get a good look at the strawberries and florals in the pot. I think the scale for that terracotta pot is so perfect for these layered strawberries. And I love how clean and simple this looks. And with just colored cardstock, no ink blending, no Copic marker coloring, it really is such a great die set. I hope you guys enjoyed today's card and video. If you have any questions about the products I used, please check out the links below in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.